All right. Hey, everybody. Well, we're going to get started and people can just join in whenever they can. I know that when you're a first time Zoom user, sometimes it's a little complicated and a little hard to work. But hey, everybody. Thanks for joining in. My name is Allison and I am one of the social media managers here at Designs Interactive. Super excited that, y'all could all join in with us today. Talking about Instagram, I know that it is one of the most impactful and amazing platform to use to promote your business. I'm going to start off with just a few stats in 2019 with Instagram just to get started and kick us off. One, there are an average of 1 billion users every single month on Instagram. That's a lot of people. Two, which was kind of what I was just saying, the power of Instagram. It is the second most engaged network, and of course, after Facebook. 71% of users are actually under the age of 35. So if you know your target audience and it's under the age of 35 or around that range, this is the perfect place for you to advertise. The average time spent per person is 53 minutes a day. So almost an hour every single day. And 71% of businesses are using Instagram. So if you're not using Instagram yet, you could be missing out. And so want to kind of go over Instagram and how you can use it and how to use it best. Because one thing that we are a firm believer in is marketing is not a cookie cutter thing. It is completely strategized for you and your company. And so let's get started. Just a quick little 2-minute thing about Designs Interactive because, we have to plug ourselves a little bit, but we are a marketing and advertising agency here in Baton Rouge. We've been here for almost 19 years. Our goal, like I said, is to not do a cookie cutter type marketing plan for anyone, but we really want to express who you are and who your company stands for. And so this is our mission statement, our vision statement. And, if you have any questions about that, you can definitely reach out. What we do identity and we do internet and exposure. What does that mean? We do branding. We do logo design, slogans, language, collateral. We do custom web design. We do SEO, that thing that makes you pop up on Google. We do internet marketing and hosting. And we do social media strategy, what we're talking to you about today. Some strategic advertising and targeted campaigns. So a lot of times you'll see things on social media and you're like, how the heck did that pop up there? That's some good strategic marketing. Our agenda today, I'll go over how to create an Instagram business account because it's different than a regular account. We're going to go over just the different types of Instagram posts, how to write an Instagram post, and how to use hashtags, and in the end, how to create an Instagram marketing strategy for you.
Excellent. And thank you so much, Allison. This is Orhan McMillan with Designs Interactive. I was having a little bit of login instructions. So yeah, we're both looking forward to sharing some information. And I don't know if you mentioned this, Allison, but if you do have some questions, I'll be monitoring the chat area. And so just feel free to write any questions in there. And that way we can answer specific stuff because we really want this to be specifically helpful to any particular issues that you may have or questions that you may have. So
yeah,
looking forward to spending some time together.
Yeah, absolutely. So if you guys know where the chat button is, it should be somewhere on your screen. I can't see your screen specifically, but definitely utilize the chat button and send something in and you'll get a little response from Orhan. So, all right, moving forward, the agenda continue. We're going to talk about how to get followers, some little hacks, and getting started with Instagram advertising. So a couple more stats. More than 60% of adults online use Instagram. There are 25 million business profiles on Instagram. So how to create an Instagram business account. While it's important to have an Instagram, just solely have one, it's different when you have an Instagram business account. And so what does that mean? A business account allows you the opportunity to actually link things on your story. It allows you to sell things. It allows you to do sponsored and boosted posts that will be seen by a community in a certain geo-fenced location. And additionally, it gives you the ability to see some actual data and statistics on people who are visiting your profile and things like that. So being able to see that kind of allows you a little backdoor into Instagram's kind of algorithm and things like that. So how to do it. So first, make an Instagram. You can give yourself a username. So say your business is McDonald's. You would put the @ and McDonald's or McDonald's Baton Rouge, whatever it is, correct? And then you go to your settings and you click switch to business profile. And make sure your account is not private, because if it's private, then people have to follow you to see it. And if people can actually see your post before following you, that gives them a little window into what you're selling, what you're doing, and why they should follow you. So first things first is to go to settings and click switch business profile, and then make sure your account is not private. This means it's not. And if it was clicked and had a little blue light, it'd be private. So say you want to add an additional account to your phone. Say you have your personal and say you have your business. You can go to add account, and that will allow you to have more than one profile on your phone. This is helpful because I know about 5 years ago, we did not have this option. And this means that I had to log out and log in every time I wanted to post. This made me post less. This made our company page post less. But having this ability allows you to post very seamlessly to both your personal and your business account. So take advantage of the ad account. Here, types of Instagram posts. Guys, there's so much you can do with Instagram posts. First, you can have videos. You can have boomerangs. You can have graphics. You can have just pictures. You can repost from people. You can have educational posts. You can have influencer posts. You can have motivational posts. And you can also have user-generated content, meaning that, say, for example, a client of ours is Mestizo, and it's a Mexican restaurant here in Baton Rouge, and super yummy. And people are constantly posting and tagging pictures there because they have a great time. They have some margaritas and tacos, things like that. And so we're able to take their images and their user-generated content and use them for our benefit of marketing, right? So if people are at your store or people are tagging your business or recommending it, whatever, you can take that content and use it to market yourself. So here's like a kind of educational post. And of course, here is something that was kind of user generated. They took someone's post and they gave them credit. Here are some graphics. So you can always use graphics and text to make an image to market and advertise a certain thing. For example, here's Mindfulness Living. Here they have a quote. We have our webinar graphic that obviously got a few you guys in. And then of course, a Happy Father's Day graphic. Taking Instagram photos, the size absolutely matters. If you guys want to take a picture on your phone of this, we will be recording it and this will be on YouTube. However, if you want to just get a quick photo of this, just for you to have on your own phone camera roll, to just remember the Instagram photo size matters, because what you really want is for everything that is the main focus of the graphic or the image, you want it to be seen on the feed. So this is a really good rule of thumb for that.
And then that one I'll add to that too is, you know, that's one of the challenges whenever you're posting to Facebook and then sharing to Instagram, because the sizing isn't the same. And I catch myself doing a lot of that with my own. So I'll post something to Facebook and it looks good, but then I go to Instagram and it's cut off a key part. So I guess you have to decide how important it is. And if that's the case, then you need to do specific sizing for each of the platforms. Would that be correct?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, perfect. And
so
we'll also be doing, what we'll do after this is I'll make sure that we have the slides in a PDF format that we'll send you all a thank you email. You'll have the slides and access to the recording too.
Exactly. So next thing is photos. I know that you guys all know this. Taking really good quality photos is essential, because when you take a good photo, and say you've seen a photo on Instagram or you've seen a photo on Facebook, heck, and it was really good, you stopped in your tracks and you looked at that photo. You maybe even zoomed in on it and you did these things because it was such a good photo. And so being able to to take and use quality photos is important because that's exactly what it does. It stops people and it makes them want to look. So on your camera, you have an ability to actually add a grid. You can even put it in square mode to ensure that it will look and fit the exact way you want to on Instagram. Additionally, you have focus, and if you have a newer iPhone, for example, you have portrait mode, which can be really beneficial for good quality photos. Here you can play with the brightness. You can begin to edit on Instagram. And we also had to include a really cute photo of Orhan's dogs. Perfect Instagram quality. You should all know that everybody loves looking at dogs.
Everybody love the pets, man.
If you can incorporate any dogs into your Instagram, do it. It works. But here you can even see using this size photo, you can actually do this as well. And it's really beneficial because it's a larger photo. So you can see the difference between square to horizontal, but still very, very, very impactful. Adding filters, like I said, using quality photos, important, but even using quality editing, it makes a huge difference. So, and if you guys don't have any crazy apps like Lightroom or VS Code, which are really, really easy to use apps, you can also just use Instagram editing. And in Instagram editing, you can adjust the brightness, the contrast, the structure, the focus, the blur, the warmth, the saturation. But additionally, they also give you some pretty easy to use filters down here. But there you go. And of course, everyone loves a good video and a boomerang. It is important to utilize video. What video does is as video can include emotion. It can include people's stories. It can include people's faces. It can include people's mannerisms. And when you include a video, it really truly gives so much more than just a picture at times. And so we always encourage our clients and people who come to us for help and advice and for training to utilize video. The perfect way to do that is with your Instagram story. An Instagram story is a 24-hour window where a picture or a story or a text or a boomerang is available for 24 hours. And what you see businesses doing a lot more often than not is doing like behind the scenes post, doing some live posting, some videos, things like that. A lot of boutiques here in Baton Rouge, they are taking complete advantage of Instagram story by actually selling things that are discounted. So say the boutique has a rack of shirts and they have a size medium, a large left. They'll post that on Instagram story and they'll say respond, and then it's yours. And so that's how they're selling their sales items, right? And so it's a little bit easier because it's not on there forever. It's a quick way to get in front of your followers. But like I said, you can use live, which is a live video type, which is texting. And there's music. You can put a song on top of your image or your video. Super Zoom, which is an animated zoom focus, and it'll focus on one thing and blur everything else. And there's rewind, which of course plays things in reverse. And then there's hands-free, which allows you to kind of put your phone down, back up. You can like talk while recording and not really have to put your hand on the phone. So it's pretty beneficial for things like that. Here's what Instagram story looks like. Again, so what they did was they posted here a picture of someone's desk, and you can add to your story and you can also save. Here's Instagram Live. That's when you start a live video. And of course, this is Instagram TV. Instagram TV is incredible because if you have a longer video that is just too long for Instagram story or too long for your Instagram feed because there's a 60-second limit, you can put this on your Instagram TV, which is kind of like a sort of subscription to YouTube almost, but instead it's in a very easy, seamless position for your viewers, which is on your Instagram account. Okay, and just as we get right here.
Go back one. Well, I'm gonna ask a question on that because I'm guilty. I haven't gotten on Instagram TV yet. is that similar to the way Facebook Live works? I record it live there, and it will live on Facebook. Is that the same? Will it continuously stay? You know, is it a live recording? How does that work?
So the live recording is a little bit different than Instagram TV. If you're live, it is showing on your story and notifying your followers like, hey, hey, there's a live video happening.
Okay.
However, after you can store that live video on your Instagram TV as a sort of like YouTube channel.
Okay. So it can live there. So in other words, you can begin creating, you know, long-lasting user content that you may want.
Absolutely.
And I imagine if it's something you don't want to, if it's something like if I'm promoting a sale for a product, I don't necessarily need that on my forever thing. That can just be something temporary that I can go in and delete to keep the continuity and the brand of my Instagram page or TV, but it's still something I can use in the moment.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, great. That's a great idea. And I think that's something else, because I'm guilty of this, and Allison is always on me about this, especially in my personal. You know, and I'm sure you'll talk about this a little bit more, but there's a benefit in keeping consistency in this Instagram page. So if it is something, and that's where, you know, if it's an announcement or something like that, maybe goes into the story or it goes on your Instagram page temporarily. But what I've gotten in the habit of doing with some of my other projects is I make a monthly note to go in and review my Instagram feed for consistency and brand consistency. And so if something that I posted wasn't necessarily fit, I'll go ahead and delete it. And that way I have kind of a timeline that really matches, but it still doesn't stop me from putting out some immediate information if I want.
Absolutely. I find myself actually deleting things all the time. I'm like, you know what? This actually just doesn't match anymore. And,
Perfect.
And of course, it served its purpose and it did what it needed to do. But after a month of still not matching, I'm like, okay, this needs to go, you know, because in the end, you want people to go to your profile and think, wow, I love this profile. It's seamless. Like it works well together and it really draws me in. And so that's important. Thanks for noting that, Lauren. Okay. And just because I want you guys to have, of course, the ability, if you guys have any questions, again, go to the chat button in the bottom right and you can ask any questions. But I'm going to move on as well. So how to write Instagram captions. I know that in my experience, when I'm with people, they always ask me like, Allison, please write a caption because it's so hard. And, you know, I'm always like, you know, it really isn't. The biggest thing, and I'm going to give you a few different tips to write an Instagram caption. One is don't rush the process. I always tell Orhan and tons of our clients, I don't want you guys posting in the moment, because if you post in the moment, right when you take the picture, you often don't have time to think. You don't have time to edit. So you just push it out really quickly, right? And the con with that is you probably could have done a better caption. You probably could have done a little bit better photo editing or graphic creation, right? And so a couple of different tips I always say is to don't rush the process. Take time to think about it and see what you really want to say in this caption. 2 is to consider the length of your caption. If your caption's too long, people may just kind of I don't feel like reading that. However, if it's too short, it may not get your point across. So finding a good happy medium is perfect. I always say a good 150 characters, basically a tweet, is the perfect amount. And to engage and define your Instagram voice. Next, we're going to talk about hashtags on Instagram. You're probably like, okay, we understand hashtags, we know what they are, but how to understand the use of them. And this is where we come in. Say you are selling coffee, and say you own a coffee shop and you really want to really get your likes up and your followers up, and you want to hashtag coffee. If you go to the hashtags and type in coffee and then type in top, you can actually see the top coffee hashtags available. So how many posts are happening right now. So being able to use that and to put it into your marketing will help you guys get your likes up and get your followers up. In addition, if you go to your Explore page, you'll be able to see a ton of relevant and related posts that are kind of what you're posting, and you'll be able to see what exactly they're doing. But what a hashtag does is, say I was looking for a plant. I am a plant mom. My house is full of plants. I'm going to tell you I have a problem. I go to the store maybe once a week to get groceries, and I always buy a dang plant. And now I'm always looking for, for what kind of plant to get or whatever. So I follow a hashtag called Jungalow, and hashtag Jungalow. It's a ton of photos of people who are, of course, who are other plant moms. They post tons about plants and how to take care of them and how to water them correctly. And I keep up with this hashtag because I know I'm going to get some relevant information. So again, being able to use this hashtag as a way to both educate and, of course, to bring in potential clients and sales is key. How to create an Instagram marketing strategy. One, you have to determine your Instagram audience. As Kunal mentioned earlier in the beginning, you need to know what your specific age is. A client of ours has a gym and it's catered to an older audience. So we wouldn't recommend them, of course, putting all of their eggs into Instagram. We want them to utilize Facebook because it has an older audience. And so being able to determine what your Instagram audience is. Additionally, knowing who they are, you can see what kind of design, of course, is trending with them. A younger audience has a 90s vibe right now. That's what the graphics are looking like. And then the older audience, again, is more informative and traditional. Conduct a competitive analysis. You can do an analysis, which is like SWOT, which of course gives your strength and your weaknesses and your opportunities and your threats. You can actually reach out to us, and we would love to give you guys a SWOT analysis. And basically, what this does is it gives all the strengths you guys have already. It gives the weaknesses that can definitely be improved in, and the opportunities that are there that are not being used yet, and the threats, which are the things that could be competition, the things that are not happening with you yet, however they should be happening, because if not, it could be a decrease in sales and things like that. But we love doing SWOT analysis, so just a little plug there. If you need one, definitely reach out to us. Configure an editorial calendar. You can schedule your posts and say, I really want to focus on talking about this week, and then next week do this, blah, 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 blah. You can actually kind of have an idea of what's being posted for the month. This allows you guys to really think about your captions, like I said, instead of rushing it. And build a consistent brand on Instagram. Kind of what Orhan touched on about 10 minutes ago was the consistency. And what that means is you don't want to do a series of really good photos and then all of a sudden some really blurry, terrible, kind of zoomed in iPhone photos, because it'll completely take your consistency off. Or say you're using your brand colors, which for us is lime green and gray. We use a little bit of lime green in every single photo, or we brand it with our logo and that adds that lime green. So being consistent allows your viewers to always know, okay, so that's definitely Designs Interactive posts. How to get more followers on Instagram. One thing about Instagram is you want to be able to build your trust with your viewers. And so one thing to do that is to have some followers. I know that if I went to an Instagram page that had 4 followers, I probably wouldn't trust it. And so you definitely want to build your followers and engage with your followers to build that trust with all your new viewers. But how to do that sounds so hard. What you do are some promotions, some contests, some charity, some teasers, and some live launches. The promotions you could do are a new product or a new release, whatever that is. Some contests, meaning if you have a giveaway and saying something in the caption like, if you follow our page and tag 3 friends in this post, you are entered in to win a $30 gift card to blah, right? And for example, I have a photography business as well, and I just did that, and I had over 2,000 people actually, actually enter into that giveaway. And so with that, I was able to do a ton of brand awareness and spread my name to people who had no idea who I was. Charity, if you're doing charity work, you can share that, and that creates a lot of trust. Teasers and live launches. The live launches, again, is with the Instagram story, like I was talking about with the boutiques earlier. A few different Instagram hacks. I thought this was interesting. If you go to your settings, you can go to the button and it says posts you've liked, and this actually shows you all the posts you've liked. So sometimes you're like, oh, you know, I like the post, and I don't know who posted it. Oh, shucks. You can actually go to your settings and go to posts you've liked and click on that, and you can see everything you've liked. Another thing is on your filters area, there is a button called manage, and you can actually manage all of the order of your filters and what your filters look like. Next, you can go to your tagged photos, and you can actually hide your tagged photos. So I know a huge joke is people are often photoshopping themselves a lot, and it's like, I wonder if they look like their tagged photos. Answer is no. You can just hide your tagged photos. No need to worry about that anymore. Another thing that I really wanted to cover was when to post to Instagram. There are peak times because you don't want to post when everyone's sleeping or when everyone is working. So there are peak times. For example, the best times for Instagram are Mondays and Thursday at any time except between 3 to 4. So again, using some time that are off work hours on weekdays or on late weekend nights when people are out or doing things like that, being able to use these peak times. Saved. You can actually go to a saved tab on your settings as well. And what this does is you can actually save images. There's a little bookmark next to every image. So say you wanted to have a wedding board, or say you wanted to have a business board or a graphics ideas board, which kind of like Pinterest almost. You can save images to different boards, meaning you can save them for a later use or for a later viewing. This is really helpful in a sense of, say you're going through Instagram and you see something and it sticks out to you and you want to kind of use it as inspiration, or you want to see what they did and kind of like take a deeper look at it. You can save it and go view it again later. And it's really helpful. I have a few different boards. I have a wedding board. I have a graphics board. I have a home decor board. And these things are helpful for me because I know where they're at. Getting started. So Instagram advertising on Facebook, I'm sure you guys see sponsored posts all the time. Super helpful because a sponsored post allows a business to put their graphic or their ad in front of people who don't technically follow them yet. So once you have an Instagram account and it's business account, you can link it to your Facebook because Facebook now owns Instagram, in case you didn't know that. You can link your Instagram and Facebook account. And when you go to your Facebook Business Manager settings, you can actually begin to actually boost posts, meaning you will have a sponsored ad in front of people. And you have a marketing objective. So your marketing objective is to do some brand awareness and to get more traffic, which is more people on your page. And if you want to convert that to store visits or a product catalog sales, which is on your website, or convert to some clients, you can do that by clicking your objectives. And then from there, you go and choose your audience. So like I said a little bit earlier, say your audience is between the age of 30 and 60, and it's mostly females. You would go in and you could actually pick a certain age, a gender, a language, and detailed targeting like behaviors or interests. So if you're a flower shop, you may want to put here maybe wedding, prom, floral, flowers, things like that. And so if someone is Googling things like floral shops or wedding inspiration or wedding flowers, you're more likely to pop up for them. So I always joke about having a little FBI agent. And what I mean by that is it's so funny because every now and then I'll find myself Googling things like about a new dresser or a new pair of Nike tennis shoes. And all of a sudden I'm on Facebook and I'll see ads for Nike tennis shoes or things like that. And that's what this is doing. It's doing some detailed targeting on you. And it's putting things in front of your face that, of course, it thinks you're interested in hopes of gaining a sale. Again, you can put in some placements on Facebook and Instagram, or just Facebook or just Instagram, and you can put your daily budget. I always say, of course, the higher the budget, the better, because you get more people. However, you can do a budget of $15 and still get some really, 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 really good data from that. So Instagram marketing the inbound way. I want to just take a second to pause really quickly. And if you guys have any questions right now, I'm actually going to open the chat right here. And so if you have any questions, you can go ahead and send any in.
That was that's really great information, and I know for me sometimes it's a lot, and so I know from my experience has been just kind of start with one thing and just work on that. And then, as you do that, then you can add others, because it is overwhelming. And then that's not even including all the things that are being incorporated onto the platform itself on a daily basis and stuff. But it's a good deal just to be able to start with something on there and be able to expand it and improve upon it.
Absolutely. I agree with that. If you can just take at least one thing from this to say, you know what, I'm really going to work on the next month on improving my photos, or I'm going to work on not posting in the moment and thinking hard about my caption, or I'm going to work hard on trying to utilize the business page by doing some ads. Take that one thing and just work at that. You know what I mean? And that'll get you some really good results. Okay, and I haven't gotten any questions yet. So I'm just going to assume you guys are just geniuses and you just love it. Oh, here's that one. Do you know how much about schedulers such as Planoly do they work? I actually have heard of Planoly. I do think they work. We do use something called Sprout Social here at Designs Interactive for all our clients, and I really like it. I like Planoly. I've used it once for my personal account, and they do work. You can use it to schedule and see how it's going to look. My biggest advice is to play around with it and see if it works for you, because realistically, that may work for a blogger, but it may not work for your business. However, you can find there's tons of different scheduling things on the App Store or on the internet. There is a Sprout Social and tons of different ones. But of course, if you ever need any more options, just let me know. And I'm actually going to put my email in here as well. Okay. Anybody else?
Nope. We are good.
Okay. Well, all right. And just a little bit about inbound marketing. And I'm going to let Orhan talk about this part a little bit.
Perfect. So with the inbound marketing, it's kind of the way that we've kind of adjusted marketing. When I got started in this 20-something years ago, it was a lot of your traditional advertising processes, which was on sale now, buy this now, act now, et cetera. It's very kind of an invasive way of doing advertising, where with the incorporation of social media, with kind of how consumers have changed, with the availability of so much information, that the inbound marketing aspect is more of the attraction based, that I will begin to look at a brand or a company and I will begin to research them and I will follow them way before I ever decide to sell, to buy from them. And it's that kind of a process that, that drives all of this part here. So go ahead and go to the next one. You're driving.
Yeah,
so.
go ahead.
Some of your traditional outbound ways was cold calling, cold emails, interrupted ads. It was very marketer centric. It was very built around us, the marketing aspect. But with inbound, it's search engine optimization. It's putting stuff where I need to find it, putting out great blog content. It's attraction based, and it's very customer centric. A couple things about it is the cost is a lot less expensive for inbound than outbound. Mm-hmm. There's kind of 4 pillars of the process. And if you notice, there's no sales in this. This is not about selling to the customer at this point. That comes, that happens organically and naturally. But the processes include an attraction phase, a conversion phase, a closing phase, and then the retaining phase. And so I'll go through those a little bit more in depth. The attraction phase is, I'm out there looking, I know I need something, I've never heard of you. So how am I going to understand what you do? Well, I'm going to do that by your blog content that you write that I may find on search engines by doing searches, or I may be scrolling through my social media and run across an interesting article about the top 5 most creative ways to do an Instagram post. So again, I'm not really selling to you. I'm giving you information that's usable and beneficial. Social media is a great way of doing that across the platforms. So once I've attracted you, once I've kind of got your attention, what I'd like to be able to do is some level of conversion. And again, that's not selling. So I would have a form that says, hey, if you would like to download a copy of this, put your name and email address. If you'd like to receive our newsletter, please enter your email address. Various calls to actions of those things, and create custom landing pages on my website that relate to the offer that I'm talking about. But again, that's my conversion, is to be able to get you from not knowing who I am to then begin to move you in my ongoing marketing promotions and stuff. And then the closing is that, I do get your email. Then I began to create a workflow process as a company, so that for us, for example, we have monthly newsletters, we have these webinars. So all of these things we're doing to be a benefit, and we're trying to do that just to help people understand how to use some of this media. But again, we're not selling anything. Yeah, we've mentioned the company name a few times, but there's no special offer coming up at the end of this presentation. But it's about building the trust and the relationship between you and your potential customer. And then the way you retain those individuals is you continue to do events like that. You keep good stuff in it. You keep interesting stuff in their inbox, in their social inboxes, and just doing really, really well done, useful content. That's one of the things we wrestle a lot with our clients, is they want it to be a sales pitch. And we're like, no, that's not what we're here to, that's not what we're doing in this phase. We need to put something that doesn't make them feel that they're being sold to, but that was of interest to them, so that when the time comes, they will come, then they will reach out to you for the sales process. There's a funnel involved. And so obviously you got to get traffic, then you got to get leads, then I got to get customers, and then I look at data. So how do I get the traffic? Again, I create blog content, I optimize on the website for search engine keywords, and I promote all of this on my social media sites. Then I place call to actions throughout my website that I drive visitors to landing pages with forms. They fill out the forms to get whatever I'm offering, and then they become a lead. And then the leads get automated emails, they get periodic check-ins, they get newsletters, and things like that. So that then I begin to just continue to build the relationship. And then lastly is I analyze the data. So with your email marketing, with your social media, with your website, there's lots of analytics that you can look at to see what was successful. Did this campaign that I did about the Instagram marketing thing work? How many people looked at it? How many people signed up? How many people showed up? Again, it's just that kind of information that is kind of the overall inbound funnel. And that's kind of the overall part, because Instagram plays a part in that. Facebook plays a part in that. Social media plays a part. Search engines, website. There's a larger kind of process that goes on with it. But that is the overall thing to be able to do, to look at that and to be able to target. And, again, the bottom line is the most important thing to remember is that you just put out good, useful content, and you will build a relationship with the customers, and they will buy from you or they will refer you.
Yeah, that's true. Okay. Well, guys, I appreciate you all for joining with us today.
Yes, very much. Thank you all.
Very fun. And again,
and now you're in our email. And see, we have just led you. You have given us your email address. when you signed up for Eventbrite. So now you're going to go into that part of ours that we begin to send you stuff. And so we'll send you, we don't send a lot. I mean, we don't do, I don't overdo it, but, you'll get a newsletter. We write beneficial articles every month, and then upcoming webinars and things and such as that. We encourage you to follow us on our social media, get some ideas on how to do posts and stuff. And I think the most important thing is just reach out. Don't hesitate to contact us. We love what we do. We've been a part of doing this for over 19 years now. We've been a part of a lot of the change that has happened over those years with digital marketing and marketing itself. So it's always about helping people, reach their goals.
Absolutely. And if you guys have any questions, I have my email in the chat feature.
And getting our follow-up email, which was, we'll have a link to the video. Once it uploads, we'll have the PDF and then and a thank you email from there.
Perfect. All right, you guys, thank you so much. And I hope you guys have a really great
day. Absolutely. Thank y'all. Y'all have a great day.